Have you updated your emergency contacts recently? If you have, do you know where they are? And do your loved ones know where to find them? I'm Andrew Ayers. I'm a lawyer who works with families and business owners to protect their legacies through planning. In the next few minutes, I'm going to teach you about the importance of a healthcare power of attorney to make sure the right person is making decisions for you in the case of an emergency. A similar situation came up in the Wall Street Journal article last weekend. The writer discussed how she came to the United States and needed to list an emergency contact in many different places, whether for school, whether for her doctor, whether for her job when she eventually got one. She found that the emergency contact was actually someone who was overseas. And this led her to think about who should be that person who's your emergency contact. It should be someone who knows you, someone who knows your medical history, and someone who knows how to contact your family. And hopefully it's not someone who's overseas and would be tough for somebody to find in the case of an emergency. In the estate planning world, one of the primary ways we deal with this is with what's called a healthcare power of attorney. Now, the healthcare power of attorney is a legal document that's about 9 to 10 pages long, and it appoints somebody to be able to make specific legal and medical decisions for you in case you become incapacitated. My clients often come to me and wonder what kind of decisions need to be in their healthcare power of attorney. They will normally include decisions about medical evaluations and treatment, long-term or hospice care, whether you should stay in your home if you become sick, what kind of pain relief do you want your organs donated in case you are deceased, and also do you want them to be able to perform an autopsy, which can become important in case they're not really sure what happened when you were in the hospital. The healthcare power of attorney will be signed and is usually notarized as well, and you'll have witnesses so that when it's given to a healthcare provider, they understand that these were your wishes and you are appointing this person to be the one to make these important medical decisions. Without a healthcare power of attorney, what's going to happen? Well, your medical provider won't know who to call. If you're married, this decision can be a little bit easier because your doctor will probably look at the chart and say, oh, I'll call their spouse. But what happens when you're not married? Do they know your significant other? What if you're just in a long-term relationship and you don't believe in getting married? You want to make sure that the medical provider knows who to contact in the case of an emergency. Hopefully you can understand the importance of a healthcare power of attorney, but many people have the wrong impression that it's something that is complex or very expensive. But in the end, there's actually two ways you can get it done. One way is you can try to create it yourself from some form you find online. You might save a couple of bucks, but if it's done incorrectly, the medical provider might disregard it. It's much easier to not reinvent the wheel and work with someone who does this for a living. Work with a professional like an attorney who can prepare that healthcare power of attorney for you. It's an important document and should be part of your estate plan. So if you don't have one, go up to the address bar and go to andrewmayers.com. You can click on the Schedule a Consultation button, and that will take you directly to my personal calendar, and we can set up a time to talk about a healthcare power of attorney for you. Or maybe you have one and it was signed before March of 2020. Go to the address bar above and go to andrewmayers.com, click on that Schedule a Consultation button, and it will still take you to my personal calendar and we can set up that time to talk. Hopefully you will never need to use a healthcare power of attorney, but I guarantee that you will sleep better at night knowing that you have one.